I hand the cards to the person I'm reading for,
Okay.
and they shuffle,
Right.
and I ask them to think about whatever it is
That's what I wanted to say. So
that
you have the present.
while they're shuffling,
Right.
and I get them to do that 3 times, and then I take the cards, and then I just turn up 21 cards,
Okay.
random cards,
But the person has already sort of had them.
as they come off the pack.
21 out of 78?
21 out of 78.
Okay, right.
Yes.
In 3 rows of 7?
Yeah, just like this.
Okay.
And this would tell me about the current, about what else is going on, and then underneath, because everything starts from a thought, and this is where the thoughts are. This is where it's the creativity. It is also where the shadow begins. Yes.
What is the role of the minor card?
The role, well, we haven't dealt with that, but the role of the, this is the question is what is the role of the minor cards, and this is the strategic layout of the heroine's journey. The minor cards are the tactical business of, if you like, almost like day to day, the tactics to show us how they are, how we deal with moving ahead in the strategy. And there are some people don't quite follow the difference between strategy and tactics, but there's no such thing as grand tactics. It's only grand strategy. This is the grand strategy. The tactics is we haven't got time to deal with the minor cards. In fact, we haven't got time to deal with very much at all, really. But that is how we deal. There are 10 so-called pip cards, 1 to 10, and the numbers, and then they're divided up into 4 suits, which represent the 4 elements: earth, air, fire and water. And then the numbers are the esoteric numbers. They're not just numbers for calculating. 1 is about unity, 2 is about dichotomy, 3 is about resolution, 3 is about how we deal with the 4 elements. 5 is the quintessential element. It's about ether. 6 here is about taking decisions. How do we decide things? And the word decide comes from the same root as suicide and infanticide. It means to decide, to avoid, to eliminate all your options. And as soon as you eliminate the options and you focus on what you've decided to do, so the energy goes into and focus into doing that. It's all about doing it. We have to do things. And so on. With the 7 is about the going around and coming around the 7 days of the week. 8 is the octave. This is the octave here, and this is the octave here. It's where there's a change up. 9 is always about a pause. Just settle down and just give it time to think and to be resolved. And 10 is about going up again to another level, as you do with the octave, but it's a much higher level in number 10. And then there are the 4 cards of the so-called court cards: King, Queen, Warrior, and or Knight, and the Knave. So you've got these 14 cards per element, and the elements are, the 4 elements are simply you've got water, which is the cups. You don't have them here because I haven't got the one. But you have the four elements. It's cups, which is about the emotion. The swords is about the air, about thinking, about intellect, and the clubs is about energy and drive and moving ahead. And then the last one is about money. It's called money, and it's about the everyday life. It's about literally about money and about the rational world and how we live, pay our mortgage and do things like that. So that is how we get the whole business of dealing with the strategy and the tactics. Is it can come in and tell you everything that you need to do, and it's about how to overcome the hazards, and because there are pitfalls. You can't just waltz through. Apart from going through into the woods, there are all sorts of things. Here you can meet the devil, and then you can get, this is hubris, the ego. Then you see the star, and so it all becomes a step-by-step movement from naivety to wisdom. Extraordinary stuff, isn't it? Extraordinary stuff. Have we got any more questions?
Tom, how far back in history can you trace those cards?
I think this is the 14th century costumes. The Visconti cards, they were hand painted for the Duke of Milan, and originally these were hand painted for King Charles VI of France and so on. But they found the wood blocks, and what happened was it was about the time soon after this when the printing press was invented, and so you get a surge of cards coming out, and then so we then in the 19th century you got the way in which lithography came and changed it yet again, and now we've got the internet. And so everything moves ahead in that way. But these have got a purity of colour and quality that I don't find in any other cards. There's a card, if anybody wants to see samples of these cards, I've brought them with me afterwards if you want to look. But there's the Solar Busca cards. Anybody, do you know the Solar Buscas? And they are so obscure that they're still trying to work out now what it means. It's like archaeology. They do not understand what it means.